I was starting the repairs on the chafed wires on the Vandal and was just inspecting everything. And I noticed that this wire right here on the ESC has been chafed by this drive shaft. This is called a drive shaft. Who knows what it's called in this? In a car, it would be a drive shaft. So, in addition to fixing these wires and getting electricity back to power the video transmitter, I'm going to have to take this top plate off and really inspect that well. I think what's going on here is when these wires hooked over that control horn, which I showed in the last video, it kind of pulled this ESC loose. I think it's probably just on there with double-sided tape. We'll see when we get in there. And that may have moved it over to the center and started chafing those wires. You can see right there how it actually polished up the drive shaft, or blackened it where the wires are touching it. So let's get that open and see what's going on inside there. Looking at the other side where the ESC is, yeah, it did come loose from the bottom. It's even got dirt all over the double-sided tape or whatever it was holding it on, and dirt caked up in here. I'm going to have to, well, actually it feels like there's a little bit of double-sided tape in there, but it's covered with dirt now. I'll have to replace all that. But that's still, again, I think those wires are just been colored, and they weren't. It hasn't really gotten through the insulator, so I think this is all going to be good. I'm just going to have to find a way to mount it up and stuff again to make sure it stays out of the way. Or right there on the drive shaft will wear a hole in these wires, and I'm not sure if it's the motor wire. Just hate that to short and go straight to full power. Something like that. I'm not sure if it's control wire or motor wire. Well, it's control for the motor and control for the servos, but anyway, clean it up here and see what I can do to put it back better than it was. So I got it cleaned up. A double-sided tape that was all covered with dirt out of here, and the double-sided tape off the bottom of the ESC. I'm going to clean it all with isopropyl alcohol right now and just get it ready for some new tape. Some double-sided tape I have here, tape it back down, and then we'll look at how much clearance we have on the drive shaft. Okay, I cleaned it up first with an air compressor. Got most of the dust off of it even. And then with isopropyl alcohol, and I have nice clean plastic parts to take some double-sided tape here. But seeing I am repairing this chafed wire on the battery connector here, I can get it further away from the car while I'm doing that repair. So I'm just going to leave this part right now, do this repair, and then put the double-sided tape on. Okay, there's a new power connector back on, and I've got the connector for the battery. I mean the video camera and video receiver sorted into that same place. You remember I was wanting to change this anyway because I was using too many adapters and stuff in there on some of the other videos. But there's that problem fixed. When I put the ESC back in there, it just didn't clear. The wire was still touching the drive shaft. So I cut a slot in the side here. I know that's going to make it a little weaker, so that I can put some more double-sided tape on it and then bring the ESC out through the slot. Oops. Out through this slot about like that to get it far enough away from the drive shaft in there that I'm comfortable. Isn't that some garbage? Oh well, we get her done. There it is, stuck back down with double-sided tape. And as you can see, oops, I've got the ESC sticking out 1/4 of an inch outside of the body now, just so I can get what I'm comfortable with on the other side here. A little bit disappointed and all that, but every time I work on it, I think I'm putting it back together better than it came. I hope. Okay, I hope that works. There's the ESC double taped down again. This plate screwed back down. I had to move these wires, the tie wrap from these wires, from the center place. I put it before when I fixed it. I had to move it right back. I haven't even got it on the ground running again yet, and I had to change it back to this member so I could keep these. Pulling this outboard just wasn't going to work with it in the center. Now, the problem I had before, where if this servo was all the way back, I couldn't turn left anymore. Yeah, that's left. I solved that by putting another tie wrap here this time and keeping that angle. So that should keep the servo horn from hooking the wire. It's hard to see down inside here, but I think I've got enough space between the drive shaft and the wires in there to keep them from chafing. I did fix the chafed power wires. Instead of having that little XT60 here with the battery connector between it and the battery, I've just got it straight off this XT60 connector. And I think when I put another battery in it, I'll figure out how to tie wrap this up someplace so this doesn't get outside the body again and chafe on the asphalt or gravel. So pretty much I'd say it's back together, ready for some more fun.